Hey guys, Super Movie Tower 13 here from PCG Central. From Kingles also. So I've got a deck profile, yay, of Darkrai Hydreigon, but it's like a tech version of Hydreigon. And you might say like, oh, why don't you just play Klinklang? Because now I have the benefit of Darkrai, and it's hard to explain, but this is probably actually the best version of Hydreigon I've ever used, which is weird because like nobody's using it. It's extremely strong. A lot of people at cities were using it, and I got pummeled by it personally. The guy actually, what was I going to say? I faced the guy the second round. He was an incredible player, actually. He played the same exact type of deck, and he was a great player. And like I thought, he got my mind going, and I thought that maybe I should try to run something like this. And in testing, I mean, it's God. So, I mean, no, it hasn't really won anything. Has it? Like, I don't know. If you guys know anyone who's used something similar to this and done well with it, please tell me in the comments. Anyway, you run 3 Darkrai. I mean, why not? I mean, why would you wouldn't run 4? 2's dumb. 1's dumber. 3's like the perfect number. I run 3 Dragon Dino. The reason why I run the Dragon Dino is because, like, the Deep Growl isn't terrible. I mean, it's not like a terrible attack, but at the same time, I also run 1 Dark. I could go for 3, but I want to make sure that I can get everything out consistently. And this list, like, holy crap, dude, like, it's almost always like a turn 2, 3, or 4 Hydreigon. I do run the Dark one also, because it resists Mewtwo, and Landorus, like, with the text I have in here, Landorus isn't too, like, hard of a matchup. Like, I mean, it's still a harder matchup, but it's not that bad. I don't run the Zweilous at all. I feel like it's unnecessary, because if I don't get the turn 2, 3, or 4 Hydreigon, then I'm going to lose anyway. And besides, I, like, always get Hydreigon to play. It's not even like I don't even utilize the Zweilous, even if I have it in my deck. I mean, it just slows down the process. People will catch it up and kill it. It's stupid. Why run it? So I just run 3 Hydreigon. 2 Sableye. You could run 3. I wouldn't even consider it. A lot of people are telling me to run 4 or 3. It's completely idiotic in my opinion. 3 maybe would be alright, but I don't know. I feel like this card's good. It's really, really good. In fact, it's like the big part of running a Darkrai deck is running Sableye because it's just such a great card. At the same time, though, you gotta remember that Junk Hunt is an attack, and sometimes using Sableye might not be the best option. Sableye, still, it's definitely a necessity. Great card. As for text, I run 1 Sigilyph. I know a lot of people that don't like this card. I would have to disagree. I could run Cresselia EX, and I might end up testing that in the end. But Sigilyph, like, all the attackers in the format are really EXs. Like, play this against a Darkrai Keldeo, like a Keldeo Blastoise deck, it's almost an auto win. You just drop it and bam, pretty much you win. So, I mean, yeah, you could run Sigilyph. I guess you could run Shaman too, but yeah. I run 1 Keldeo. This guy works wonders. He decimates Landorus and makes the matchup pretty favorable. You might say, like, oh, well, you know, you still got Darkrai's. Yeah, you just don't drop them. Maybe keep 1 Darkrai on the field with an Eviolite or something. And people are saying, like, oh, Landorus, you know, it's going to do 150. Well, yeah, they'll do 150 once. They might maybe be able to do it again, but, like, what are the chances that they'll be able to consistently do 150? The chances are slim. That's why, Terrakion is awesome, because it can one-shot Darkrai. That means if I verse any deck, like any Darkrai Mirror, I'll probably win, because I run Terrakion. Also, this guy, like, he's a monster. I don't even need to wait for a Retaliate or anything. I can just go, like, bam, move energies, Land Crush. It's really just kind of that good in this deck. It's actually surprisingly fantastic. As for supporters, run 4 Juniper. I kind of feel like 4 Juniper is necessary. Some people run 3. 3 I can see working, but I don't know. I like 4. Just gotta be careful, you know, not to always discard everything. 4 N. One, I would like to make these full art, but N, great card. It's my favorite draw support to use because you don't really have to sacrifice anything. You could make giant comebacks with this card. It's just that good. 2 Skyla. A lot of people will run like 3 or 4. It's not that good. This card helps when you just need that one piece to like, one piece. But you need this card like when you need that like one part to like start going like, oh, I need an Ultra Ball to get my Hydreigon, then Rare Candy. That's all Skyla ever does. Plus, if you hit this thing with your random receivers, it sucks. So 2 Skyla is fine. I would never run any more than that, because a lot of the time I don't even want to use Skyla. A lot of the time I'll find myself discarding it, it's discard fodder. But when it works, it's good, but I mean at the same time, it's, yeah, whatever. I feel like I went over that plenty of times. I run one Charon. I would run Bianca, but I don't know, I just kind of prefer Charon. Bianca is a really good card, but at the same time, I always have this fear that I'm just going to start with it, and the only supporter I start with might be that. Charon just keeps everything really consistent. Just drawing 3 sometimes is the best option. You have a Juniper, and you have really good cards in your hand. You don't want to discard them. Charon, maybe you'll head an N. I usually do. So Charon, in my opinion, is just the next best draw support. So why not run it? 4 Candy. Looking for these in reverse. Rare Candy. You could run 3. The support you get from Skyla, I guess you could. But I mean, I want that turn 2 Hydreigon consistently. So 4 Candy is a necessity. Plus, I've learned my lesson. I'm never going back down to 3. My first game at Cities against Jason A, who came in 3rd, I think. Yeah, he was running Darkrai Terrakion. All my candies were prized. So, well, not all of them. 3 were prized out of the 4. So, yeah. I don't suggest running 3, but if it works for you, it works. I just prefer 4. 4 Catcher. You could run 3. I'm considering bringing it down to 3 because Catchers, it is a really good card. But at the same time, I feel like you can't get these things back with Junk Hunt. This deck, there's a lot you need to maintain to keep it consistent. I might want to make the deck faster on its own. But Catcher, it's so good. I don't know. I think that I'll just keep the 4 because I like Catcher that much. 3 Dark Patch. I want to run 4 so bad, but it's so hard to find any space. This deck is so tight, especially with all the text. So 3 Dark Patch, it's you're lucky to fit that number in. 3 Dark Patch is fine. I mean, you can Junk Hunt for it and stuff. So like someone knocks out your Darkrai, you don't have any more energy on the field, you send him Sableye, Junk Hunt, he gets sacrificed, and then all of a sudden you've got another attacker knocking on your opponent's door. As Puka would say, Terrakion, knocking on Darkrai's door. 3 Max Potion, that's, you could run 4. 3 is fine, in my opinion. I want to run 4, like I said, tight list. You can Junk Hunt for these things. It makes it so, whatever. Plus, this list kind of focuses more around tech attackers. But anyway, 3 Max Potion is a great number. 3 Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is the greatest search in the game because you can get anything, and discarding things can be good sometimes. For example, you can discard a Catcher or something maybe, and you're oh no, I discarded Catcher, but it's really not that big of a deal because you can get it back with Sableye. So Ultra Ball is so good. You can discard Dark Energies, Dark Patch. This will make Darkrai decks good. Dark Patch, I would say. Even without Dark Patch though, Darkrai would be a monster. 2 Random Receivers. You could go for more. Some people don't like Random Receiver at all. The reasoning behind me using them is because you can Junk Hunt for Random Receivers, so it makes your consistency that much better. A lot of the times, if I draw dead, which doesn't happen that often, but I want to make sure that I'm going consistent, I'll Junk Hunt for a Random Receiver and then get a supporter. So, yeah. I could run more Charons or more Skylas, but I feel like Random Receiver is the most consistent thing because with Random Receiver, you're probably going to be getting the Ends and Junipers, which is pretty much the supporter you want most of the time. 2 Eviolite. Some people don't run any. I don't get why. I think Eviolite's one of the best cards in the game. I mean, you do run Max Potion, so I guess, but still, it prevents the Terrakion from one-shotting the Darkrai. It helps just against natural attacks. It makes 2 hits 3 hits. It extends the time you can use your Max Potion. So it's oh, well, you're using your Darkrai. You're gonna do 70 to me. Alright, then I can wait an extra turn to Max Potion. If you have Eviolite attached, that is. Even if they Tool Scrapper, you still have that extra turn. Unless they run 3+ powers or something. 1 Super Rod. You could... I don't like running Super Rod in this deck, but it's a Stage 2 deck, so I think it's kind of necessary in case you have bad prizes. And also, I mean, a lot of the time you'll have to discard things through Juniper, the Attacker, so if you want to get your Terrakion or Keldeo back. Even, if, your Keldeo dies and you need it back, you can use Super Rod. I find myself doing that quite often. Want a computer search? Best A-Spec. Not best trainer, that goes to Catcher, but... I mean, you could run Gold Potion and maybe basic Darkrai decks, but in my opinion, I just love the computer search. As for energy, 7 Dark. You could go for 8 or 6 even, but I like 7. I mean, I would prefer 8, but tight list, blah blah blah. Plus, I mean, 7's fine. I always find myself drawing into them fine. It's just I don't know, perfect number for me. And then I run 1, 2, 3 Prism. Before I was running Blends, but I didn't find myself attacking with Hydreigon at all, so I just went for the Prisms. You don't want to attack with Hydreigon most of the time. You can still utilize the thing where you'll bring him back down to the bench after he's catchered. So I mean, whatever. Plus the Prisms are important. If you're running 3, you want to have at least 2 on a Keldeo for say. You want at least 2 so you can Land Crush whenever you want. It's a big deal. You need at least 1 for Sigilyph to work. I mean, yeah. So, like I said, beta tested this deck. It's such a good deck so far. It's like I don't see how people weren't using it. It's just that good. If you guys like the deck profile, please tell us. Tommy might do a Mewtwo EO deck profile because he's still using that deck. It's still a really solid deck. He might want to run Klinklang. So if you guys have any Darkrai promos, a Keldeo, or whatever for trade, we might be interested. We need 1 more Klinklang, but we can probably get that easily. So yeah. See you guys later, and peace.